everyone, it's Jess, and we are here to spend a day indoors talking about the premiere of The Amazing Race 38, our full Big Brother season. Love that. Look at this. It's here. I have been waiting for this since they were first even hinting that it was going to be Big Brother. I was like, oh. Because we've had Big Brother racers in the past before, but a full, well, not full, you know what I mean, full Big Brother teams. I guess since not everybody racing is a Big Brother player. You know what I mean. But I'm really excited to get into this. It was, I think, a good premiere. There were some things I wish we had a little more of, a little tweaks here and there, but good start. And I'm very excited. Now, I know this is coming out a little later than I would have initially planned. I did mention this previously as well, but this premiere video is coming out later than the Amazing Race coverage videos will in the future, due to the Big Brother finale kind of eating up some time there, the end week of Big Brother. But now that that's over, we will have a consistent time for these videos. Every Sunday will be Amazing Race. Woo! So look forward to that. I just want to say that at the beginning because odds are I probably could say it later. But yeah, let's actually get into the episode because it was a very interesting episode. So this premiere, they don't start at the start. They're not, getting to the starting line. They're immediately running for a challenge. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, okay, just no hi, hello, how are you? Just, they're booking it. They're in the Netherlands and they are running. And I'm like, oh, where are we going? Interesting. So they start off with an Express Pass challenge. And I'm like, oh, interesting. Now, we start off strong with somehow both Jag and Jazz and Angela and Lexi just fully missing the clue box, just running. And then they're like, everybody has clues. Should we have a clue? Where did they get the clue? Somehow missed it. Somehow they missed it. Had a double back. Not a good start. Don't want to have a double back for anything. You're losing time immediately. So, the first challenge, human bowling on ice. Disney presents human bowling on ice. For a grand prize of an Express Pass, which you want. You definitely want an Express Pass. Very, very good. This looked hard. Because you're on a bobsled, you're laying down like a fucking penguin, and your partner's gonna pretty much shove you across the ice to try to knock down 10 pins, but they're also trying to push you on ice. So that was just like cartoon like slipping. Joseph trying to push. It's so funny. Joseph and Adam this whole episode are just like a trip. I hope they make it far because I love Joseph, but they're so fun. I need them to go all the way. I think they'd be really fun. I want their energy more. But yeah, human bowling is hard because you could tell like some of them are trying to like steer, but if you like move, the whole sledge goes whoop, and you're like, I whiffed it, or you're not pushing hard enough. Like when Rubina and Christine are trying to go, and Rubina is just kind of like slowly creeping up to it, and I'm like, oh, a little more push there, a little more push. But yeah, and that's they're not all going at once as well. They have to kind of take turns because 13 teams, no ice rink is that big. Sorry. But the first team, like I said, gets an Express Pass, but the last team to knock down all the pins in human bowling, they're starting off with a hazard, and that's not great. Not great. Especially when, we're just starting off, there's this many teams, you don't want to fall behind. That's not good. Definitely don't want to start off on the wrong foot here. So, we get our winning team, right away, fairly quickly actually, of Kyland and Taylor. And I am not shocked that they're doing well because they're Kyland and Taylor. They're very strong competitors in many athletically. Yeah, physically I guess probably the better word. I don't think athletically is a word, Yeah, physically, socially, strategically, they're all around a very strong team. They're also the only double Big Brother team. Everybody else, as you can see, is racing with a loved one. Not a well, to be fair, Kylan and Taylor, loved ones together, dating. But they have the bonus of also both being a Big Brother. But yeah, they win the Express Pass. They run out. They are able to go and get their next clue for the route info to get to the actual starting line where Phil is waiting for them. Now, the teams start picking this up. They're getting through this quicker and quicker. Now, our last team's still hanging around. Jack and Jazz is in that group. I'm like, oh. Because if you've seen Big Brother 25, Jag is like the king of... He currently holds the record for like the most competition wins of any player. Yeah, I think he had like 10 wins on... I think it was 10 because it was like 7 vetoes, 3 HOHs. So he's a very strong competitor. And his brother seems like also strong. Like they're like one mind, I swear to God. So they're lagging behind. Izzy and Paige, breaking my heart, are lagging behind. Can't get these damn pins. And Enzo and Jack. Oh boy. Enzo and Jack was the team I was the most concerned about going into this race. For a number of reasons. Enzo, he's a very, in terms of like his Big Brother playing, he's, a very social player. He is okay at comp, but he's not like, the comp beast running his way to the end. He's, much more of a social player, able to build bonds with people. That's not really going to help you here too much. It can, in some occasions, if any kind of like U-turn, if you need to work with somebody, try to, form kind of an alliance, it's a basic race. It's not like Big Brother alliances, which are your lifeline in the game. He also, as you could see through their experience in this episode, they are also, I'm trying to find the right word. Not motivated is not the right word. Kind of, when they're down, they're down. Like, they go low quick. They're like, damn, dude, we're like, the motivation, I guess, is not happy-go-lucky. It's kind of like, we gotta push through, but we're not happy about this. Which, fair enough. If you're lagging behind like they were, I probably would be worse. They're probably doing better than I would. But Enzo and Jack, yeah, they are lagging behind as well. Eventually, Izzy and Paige and Jack and Jazz figure this out. Izzy is so funny. Izzy's killing me this whole episode. Every time Jag is on, she's like, here comes Jag again. This man, I gotta deal with him again. I love Izzy and her beef. She will stay on Jack's neck. Oh my god. And there's like a great confessional with Izzy and Paige where Izzy is talking about, Big Brother 25 and Jag and how, and she's like, I wish I had written down the exact quote, but she's like, I was part of the power that got him evicted from the game, though some power brought him back, and then he won unanimously. And I'm like, period. I love Izzy. I just love Izzy and Paige. They're great. So when me watching this, I see him at the bottom. I'm like, oh my god, hit them pins, girls, please. But they make it through. Jag and Jazz make it through as well. Get their clue to head to the starting line. There's no name for it right now. Leaving Enzo and Jack to unfortunately be cursed with the hazard. So all the teams head to the starting line. We get to the starting line. They kind of go around, do an intro. Something I wish we got more in this episode is one of my gripes with the episode is that we get some introductions to everybody. Obviously, they're not gonna be like no introductions of anybody because not everybody who's gonna watch this has seen Big Brother. If you're like an Amazing Race diehard, you're gonna be watching this regardless of who's on the cast. We get more introductions of the Big Brother, like their relationships to each other, team to team in terms of their Big Brother connections, as well as within the team, of their dynamics. but I wish we got more of the loved ones. We get a little bit, but I would like to know more. I mean, I know plenty about these Big Brother people. Trust me, I know too much sometimes. Too much about these people. I would love to know more about the people they're with. Because I don't know them. I don't know them at all. I know, like, their jobs. I know. I've seen Jazz on TikTok. I follow a page on Blue Sky, but, like, I don't know much about them. Would love to know more. So I hope in the coming up episodes we are able to get more of the loved ones. I would like to know more about them. That's just me. So hopefully we'll get more of that. And they also probably should, give us some more about the actual Big Brother people as well, because they are kind of talking more through the lens of their Big Brother experiences and not as much about them personally. So I understand everything because, I'm a Big Brother fan. I am familiar with these people. I'm like, oh yeah, haha, Izzy and Jag, they're funny beef, haha. Or Tucker and Angela. Tucker being like, I would love to U-turn Angela. She turned on me in the house, da-da-da. But I want to know more about them on a personal level as well. If you watch Amazing Race and you don't watch Big Brother, you're not gonna really know who these people are. You get a little bit, but I would like more. Flesh them out. Like, that's, I guess, sum that up. Flesh out the racers more. But yeah, we get to the starting line. They're all lined up, introducing themselves to everybody. Especially because some people, Enzo and Jack specifically mentioned, Enzo hasn't seen all their seasons. He's like, I don't know half these people. Which is also, like, a concern I had with him as well. Like, preseason. I was like, he's the least connected. I'm like, I don't know how much he keeps up. He was on Big Brother 12 and then All-Stars. And then that's it. Everybody, a majority of these racers are post All-Stars. Only Natalie and Kat are pre-All-Stars that he was on. Everybody else is post. So, we'll worry about that as well. But yeah, starting lineup. When Taylor and Kyland get their express pass, surprise, surprise, feels like there's not just one express pass. There's two. But you're not getting it. You gotta decide right now. Pick somebody here to get an express pass as well. And they're talking. Now, Kyland and Taylor are dating. They are not from the same season of Big Brother. Kyland was on Big Brother 23. Taylor was on Big Brother 24. Now, they are both here with people who are on their same seasons. Kyland and Hannah were both on 23, and then Joseph and Turner were on 24 with Taylor. So they have those pre-race connections with them, friendships with them. Their concern is if they give the express pass to one of them, then it kind of shows like, oh, these people, they really are working together because they're from the same seasons, they're friends, and now they're giving each other, perks. So, not to put pressure on their alliances and put the eye on that, they decide to give the express pass, which, if you don't know what that is, allows somebody to skip a portion of the leg, like, let's say, like a roadblock or one of the route info stops, or a U-turn. You can skip that and move on to the next thing without having to complete it. They decide to give it to Jag and Jazz. When they do that, I'm like, are you sure that you really want to pick Jag and Jazz? Are you sure? I would not have picked them. And it's nothing personal against Jag or Jazz. It's just going into this, they are like the team to beat. Them and like Tucker and Eric. Pre-race, I was like, oh, they're going to be a problem for everybody else because they are very strong teams. Comp-wise, physically, like I couldn't beat Jag and Jazz in a foot race. You kidding me? They're Very, very athletic people, very smart people, good at comps, both of them. Tucker left the house week 6, and he won like 6 comps at that point already. But yeah, Jag and Jazz is, like I said, 10 comp wins on his 1 season of Big Brother, beat the record. And all of them were a lot of them were very athletic competitions. But even if they weren't, he still was very good at them as well. I would not have picked them. I know Taylor, their reasoning was, oh, we can try to kind of build like maybe an allyship here. And, Jag is another winner like Taylor who won 24. That'll keep the eye on them since, that'd be another winner and they're a strong team. Sure, I get that, but they're such a strong team. They don't need the help. And as you can tell in this episode, they really don't need the help of an express pass. And clearly, the other team see that as well, because several of them in this episode are like, why would they give that to Jag and Jazz? What the hell? And everybody even online was like, Jag and Jazz? That's such a strong team. They don't need the help. Like, I promise you, they don't need the help. I guess you can also kind of think of this as well if you're looking at the flip side of why they should have given it to them. I guess they probably won't end up needing it unless they get really stuck on something. So it is kind of like you're removing it from the race. If they don't use it, you don't have to be worried about somebody passing you with it later on in another leg. Fair. But still, I definitely would have picked a different team. Definitely. Listen, at this point, I would have just given it to Joseph or Turner or Hannah, because I keep adding Turner in this book from the season. They mostly were talking about Hannah or Joseph. So, sorry, Turner. But I'm including him because of the season. But they mostly, in this episode, talked about Hannah or Joseph. Sorry, Turner. I still would just given it to them, because it's like people already know your friends, you're aligned pretty much, you're from the same seasons. Just give it. It's the first leg. It's fine. It's okay. Jag and Jazz did not need it. I don't know. And if they even did want to use it to, like, oh, there's another winner when they have a bonus. Chelsea's right. Chelsea is another winner of the show. I would have given it to Chelsea then, if you want to put a strong winner in front of you as a shield. Because Chelsea is also a strong competitor as well, but and not Jag and Jazz level. Jag and Jazz are crazy. As you can tell. So, the express passes are given out, and they're off to the races. They have their first route info. Now, I wrote the names down because I don't speak Dutch. I'm sure I'm going to say all of these stops wrong. The Port of Volendam? I'm probably wrong. I'm very sorry to all of Netherlands. But they have to, drive their way there. Waiting for them is tandem bicycles and another clue box, where they'll get their next clue that they'll have to then ride to the next destination on tandem bicycles. I would already be doomed. I can't ride a bike. But if you can ride a bike, great. Now, also at the port is Enzo and Jack's hazard waiting for them. They have to eat a whole herring fish. Then, instead of getting a tandem bicycle, they have a clog bike. It's a bike with a big-ass clog shoe in the front for one person to sit in, and the other person is pedaling them. That's rough. That's pretty rough. It was very funny, though. The shoe bike is so funny. It looks so ridiculous. It's really funny. But yeah, they're off. They're running. Now. Oh boy. Some people, you realize real quick, not good at directions. Because, oh boy, are Enzo and Jack and Turner and Megan very lost. Now, for clarification, if you're watching this, you're like, who the fuck is Turner? I realize I should have said that. I can't call Turner Matt. It's so weird to me. On Big Brother, he went by Turner. here they're calling him Matt, probably because him and Megan are both Turners now, since they're married. I can't call him Matt. It's so off to me. So he's Turner. Thank you. But they're so lost. Oh, they're lost. They have no idea where they're going. They can't read the map. They're lost. They're driving around, confused, dazed, lost. Surprise, surprise to nobody. Who's in the lead? Jack and Jazz, Tucker and Eric. I'm not shocked. I'm like, oh, okay. Who's shocked? Not me. I'm absolutely not surprised by this. Because they get to that port pretty quick. They get their clue to get onto the bikes to head over to the Edam Cheese Market. I didn't need to read that one. I knew that one. Where once they're there, they will have to get in their little cheese guy outfits. I forget what the cheese people were called. Cheese delivery men, I'm gonna call them. Put their shit on. Carry this big ass, not a U-boat. It's literally like a dip shaped boat. It's, looking yeah. You saw it. If you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. The cheese carrier that's attached to their bodies, walk in tandem. A lot of tandem this episode. Tandem bikes, tandem cheese carrying. Interesting. Go down, walk all the way from the market to the river, where there's people waiting in boats with cheese. They throw that shit at you. They're throwing cheese at you. You got to stack them up into a pyramid. Pick it up, still strap your shoulders, and carefully walk it back for the approval of the cheese man, so that you can move on to you get your next clue and get the hell out of there. Now, the cheese is also round. Problem in and of itself. You're stacking round shit, not good. So Jack and Jazz are the first ones there. Let me tell you something. They're flying. They're actually there a bit ahead of Eric and Tucker, because Eric and Tucker are still there when Jack and Jazz leave. So I believe they're like a good bit ahead of them. So yeah, I'm really glad they got that express pass. They didn't. Why did they pick them? I can't get over it. But yeah, there's pretty much a big gap throughout this race of the teams. It's pretty much, at least for this first portion as well, it's like Jack and Jazz, Tucker and Eric, and for a bit, Chelsea and Jack at the cheese market. Then most of the teams kind of show up a bit staggered, but still fairly close. And then real far behind, Turner, Megan, Jack, Enzo. Just lost on lost on lost. Oh boy. And it's bad. I said, you need to know directions to be on The Amazing Race. You have to be able to, read a map, have at least a sense of where the hell you're going and how to get there. And I get they're in a different country. They're not familiar with it. But oh boy, they're lost. They're so lost. Actually, Jack and Enzo get to that, tandem bike area before Turner and Megan even get there. They do their hazard, eating the herring, and are off on their clog bike into the distance before they even get there. It takes Turner and Megan so long to get there that Jag and Jazz have driven to the bike place, gotten their tandem bike, rode to the Edam Cheese Market, did the full challenge, and rode all the way back, and are opening the next clue. It takes them a really, really long time. And I know they said later on that they were saved by Enzo and Jack having a hazard. They were saved because Enzo and Jack are also as lost as them, but they got lost in a different portion. They were lost on the bike, not the cars. Because it's so funny. Jack and Jazz are at the clue box, looking. They're like, okay, reading the next clue. Well, they're getting to the... Oh, no, I lied. They're not at the clue box. They're going back to the cars. Yes. That's right. Going to the cars. They already have the clue from the cheese guy. I apologize. That Jack and Jazz are like, oh yeah, it's over there. The clue box is down there. And they're like, thanks. And then Turner and Megan go right past it. And they're like, what the fuck are they doing? They're like, you walked past it. And they're like, oh. And I'm like, oh my god, dude. No direction sense at all. Bless them. Poor bastards. Oh my goodness. But yeah, the cheese market thing seems very hard because that shit looks heavy. And they have to put their little outfits are really cute. But yeah, that part, many of them are there at the same time. It's kind of staggered. Like, just like little group. But they're still kind of back to back to back. So they're all keeping a fairly similar pace. Just like little chunks, I would say. But not too stretched. It's really, like I said, Jack and Jazz over here with Eric and Tucker. Like, little group. Enzo and Turner and Megan over here. But yeah, I do like I love the show because I just be doing things and I'm like, that's hell yeah. That's the one thing I love. Like, the biggest thing I love about Amazing Race is like a challenge could be literally anything. You could be putting a song together. You could be eating something. You could have to juggle something, sing a song, do a dance, carry some shit, load something up, ride a bike. I like that. And then you get to learn so much about different cultures. I didn't know about the big ass. That cheese is big. Like, it's like the size of my head. I'm like, goddamn. Because, some challenges, I'm talking shit about Big Brother now. I have to talk shit. I'm allowed to talk shit about Big Brother in this video because we have Big Brother people. It's relevant. I'm not just changing the subject for no reason. Big Brother challenges are like carnival games or like some athletic feat of like destroying your body. And then Survivor is like, we want you dead. You're in hell. So I like that it's like, you're gonna carry some cheese. You're gonna have a little outfit on with a little tie. You're gonna ride a little bicycle to get there. But I'm saying this like it's a light thing. I couldn't do any of this shit. So I'm not being like, oh, it's so fun and light. I know this is hard. I'm not saying it's easy. Because I could even get on the bike. I can't ride a bike unless you put training wheels on a tandem bicycle. And in fact, at that point, if I'm on a tandem bike and you put training wheels on there, I will just ride it into the ocean. I would go right off the side of the port. I'd be like, just leave me. We don't need that million. But I think this is a really fun challenge. I just love the challenges on here. They're just always so fun. Frustrating though. The roadblock they have to do, frustrating. So, actually, let me talk about the roadblock. Because Jack and Jazz, like I said, fly through this. They're miles ahead. They're leading Turner and Megan to their bicycle area. They are leagues ahead. They're already on the way to, pause for reading this name, Vanderwilt Guerreras. Sure. I do not speak Dutch. I apologize. But they've got a good lead to get there before Jack and Eric. No. Oh my god. Tucker and Eric. Jack and Eric. What the fuck? Before Tucker and Eric even leave. But they got a pretty good lead on them. Which is interesting because Tucker and Eric had kind of the edge over them. Thank God they had this expense. I'm never gonna let this go. I'm gonna keep bringing it up because it's driving me nuts. Why would you pick them? They're such a strong team. Oh, okay. Roadblock. Like I said, roadblock. I think this would be fun, but it would piss me off. I would be Cat. Like how Cat crashes out and is so frustrated. That'd be me. Because so they have to. It's roadblock. Obviously, just one of them are doing it. They have to go through this massive ass greenhouse full of flowers. What kind of flowers are they? I would love to know. They just say flowers. They all look like the same variety. They seem like the same flower, just different colors and patterns. But I don't know flowers. I'm not the florist. Somebody ask Christine. But yeah, they have to go through this enormous greenhouse, 6 football fields. Pretty damn big, and collect a number of, they say 9 different variants of the flowers, but in the box that they have, and put it in the display box. The display box, it has the 9 variants like kind of in a row, but there's like different numbers for even. They're getting more than 9 flowers. I should have just like did a quick count. It probably is like 20 because there's maybe even more than that because there's like 3 here, 4 here, 4 here, 4 here. There's like 2 on the bottom, 3 there. So they're getting a good amount of flowers. They just have to make sure they're the correct one because there's like very, very slight differences. I mean, I'm a very attention to detail person. If you're not a very good person with the details, oh boy. And it's hard too because this place is massive and the differences are slight. It's like this one's a slightly different shade of pink. This one's slightly darker in the middle. This one is all light all through. This one's this. This one has like a different color like middle thing. You're like, oh my god. So Jag and Jazz have the head start. Jazz is the one who does the roadblock for their team. So they're already in it by the time Tucker and Eric catch up to them there. Now, they are the only team, the only 2 teams, that are in and out of that greenhouse while it's still open. My jaw dropped in this episode when the fucking greenhouse roof shutters just start coming, and I'm like, is it getting dark in there? And the shutters close. And I'm like, oh, it's dark. And I'm waiting for the overhead lights to turn on. Like, I'm sure, what was it, Izzy and Christine were waiting for the overhead lights to turn on, and they don't. They're like, here's a headlamp. And I'm like, a headlamp? This place is like massive. So that is, and I know obviously they can't like make the place keep the shutters open because that's the, like Christine says, the growing cycle of the flowers probably only need a certain amount of sunlight per day. So obviously they're not going to destroy their plants for the fucking amazing race. But damn, that is like a real good benefit to be able to move fast, to actually just have like the big natural like overhead lighting to be able to see everything versus a little headlamp that you have to keep everything this close to your face to look at. Impossible. Especially, they do have sunlight coming in through like the sides of the building, but some teams are there long and it gets dark and you can't see shit. So to be able to just fly that with the sunlight is like a plus, like a miracle. Oh, I know other teams are watching Jag and Jazz and Eric and Tucker do this like, damn, man. And we were just that much faster. And when Izzy and Paige and Rubina and Christine get there, the roof shutters are still open. They close while they're inside, which sucks. I mean, they do have like the plus of like, at least they're able to see some of this shit. But man, it closes and it closes good. It is sealed. Locked. Tight. Nothing. So, this is hard for most of these people. Christine at least has the plus that she is a florist. So, immediately, her job plus. She sees flowers. She about gagged when they opened them, like, big doors to go into the greenhouse. Like, I'm sure she was like, this is heaven. How do I get this back home in LA? Because I need this. But yeah, I did write down the team, like, everybody who they sent into the roadblock because, you know what I mean? In one, you're not the other. But while this is happening, the teams are slowly, finishing up at the Edam Cheese Market and trying to get to the flower place. Vanderbilt Cabrera's. Still lost. Enzo, Jack, Turner, Megan. Turner and Megan, at least when they get on the bicycle, they seem to eventually get on the path. They are able to follow the path because they had Jack and Jazz there when they left, who were like, just go all down, just go down that way, and you're good. Just go follow all the way down. Enzo and Jack, I have no idea where they went. They're at like a factory. They're literally riding through people's like backyards, like in like a neighborhood. They are, I don't know where the hell, like there's bad at direction and then there's that. They're just going. Well, Enzo is, because Enzo's the only one pedaling. Jack is in the clog. But boy, are they lost. Whoo, they're lost. It takes them a good chunk. This eats like a lot of their time. There are places I don't even know where they. I don't even know if they're on the same path that the teams were for a good while. I don't even know where the hell they went. It takes them a really long time to figure out how to get to anywhere. But they eventually make it to the cheese market. They're actually like like on like the path like by the water where you can see like the streets in the background, and like 6 teams are going back past them, and they're like, "Fuck, dude, we're so behind." And everywhere they've gone, there's no teams at the stop they're at. So by the time they get to the Edam Cheese Market, everybody's gone. Even Turner and Megan have finished it and are heading over to the Cabrera's. Yes. Now, does that mean Enzo and Jack are in last place? Yes, but they have people who are not far in front of them as well. Because while, Turner and Megan were the other last team to get to the Edam Cheese Market, we have Kat and Alex. Now, Kat and Alex finished, I believe, the market 5th? 5th or 6th. It was like one of the top teams there. They take their bikes all the way back to the bike place, and they have to go all the way the fuck back, drive there. Thank God they drove there and take the bikes again. Because Kat forgets to take off the little bandana from the cheese outfit. Now, she even says this as well in the episode. She doesn't know if she would have been penalized for keeping the costume on, but their clue did say, leave your costumes behind. And I would definitely agree it's better to just go back and drop it off than be like, I think it'll be fine, and then find out the hard way, no, it's not. Because if this was Big Brother, they would have been like, you're out. You didn't do shit. You didn't do it. Da-da-da. That show is mean to people. Oh. So they have to go all the way back. Poor Kat is just like a mess because she's like so upset. They were like one of the top 5 teams, and now they're having to go all the way back. All the other teams are going to be passing them now because they don't have to wait to get to the roadblock. They just gotta go. And Alex is so great. He is so nice to her. Unlike some people's partners, other seasons. But he's like, it's okay. Anybody, I could have done that. Anybody could just forget. It was like, it's not like she had on the full suit, Not like she got over there. She's like, oh, I'm still in the outfit. It's like, it was just the bandana. It's easy thing to forget. So that sets them back a good chunk of time. They lose a lot of time with that. More time than you would expect. Because teams are catching up. Like I said, they're in that middle group is a very close clump. They're very, very close. That middle. It's just the beginning and the end is a big outlier. But yeah. The shutters are now off at the greenhouse, so the teams are coming to the dark. I wrote them down in order of their arrival as well. Kat, I almost said Kat again. Natalie and Stephanie get there, the shutters are off. Joseph and Adam get there, shutters are already gone. So they're going with the headlamps. Chelsea, Taylor, headlamps. These people. Turner and Megan. Still lost. They were lost getting to the bikes, now they're lost driving there. Oh my god. Oh, clearly, Turner and Megan, please, I'm begging y'all, if you ever go on again, read a map. Please learn how to read a map. Oh my god. But yeah. So, Jag and Jazz, Tucker and Eric finish. Pretty much at the same. Jag and Jazz are a little bit ahead of Tucker and Eric, but not by much. So they both open the next clue. Pit stop. Last team to check in at the museum plane. You're cooked, baby. You're done. So they take off. And they're very close. Jag and Jazz are in the taxi to get there. And they're like, oh, Eric and Tucker are in the car directly behind us. So it's close. And now this is another thing. They get there pretty much at the same time. And they're like, it's a foot race. And then they're like, Jag and Jazz are like, I'm like, can I have seen them the race? It's not the amazing cut to the mat. It's the amazing race. I want to see them run. Especially them two. It would have been equal. It's not like Jack and Jazz are racing like Angela and Lexi, who Tucker and Eric. They probably were keeping like that would have been a good race to see, but we didn't get to see it. It's okay. Now, this flower thing is rough. These people are running through this like football like arena of flowers, sweating because it's a greenhouse. It's hot, and they're filming this in March. So they all have like coats, hats, jackets. They're like bundled up, and they're sweating. They're taking off coats. They're like running back and forth, running back and forth. The guy's checking the flower. Not good. Not good. They're taking out flowers, taking out flowers, taking out flowers. Because some of them, it's like, oh, the color is this much more orange than the other one. I'd be like, oh my god. Fuck these flowers. Oh my god. I literally livid at that point. I get very frustrated very easily. I'm like, I react similar to, I get emotional and I cry. But it's fine. But the teams are starting to get out of there fairly quickly as well, and they're heading to the pit stop. Now, people are still lost. Enzo and Jack are lost. Kat and Alex are now lost trying to get to the roadblock. It's just a mess. Enzo and Jack do eventually, get to the cheese market. They get back. They're lost in the car. I'm like, oh my god. And they're just like so sick. They're like, can we just see somebody? Anybody? Please, can we just see another person? I'm begging you. Which is fair. Because this show would stress me out because you just don't know. Because you don't know if somebody's behind you. You don't know if somebody's ahead of you. If you're not seeing anybody, who the fuck knows? You don't know where you are. That would stress me out too much. It would give me hives. I'd be like, I don't know if we're doing really good or really shit. Though I think Enzo and Jack were pretty sure that they're in the back. Unfortunately. But, the teams do start catching up. Kat and Alex do eventually make it to the Vanderbilt Cabrera, as do Turner and Megan. They figure it out. They get there to like, goddamn, everybody's here. But a lot of teams start leaving. Because they've been here a while. Like, it's starting to get dark. Like, night is coming. And it was fully day when like, Tucker and Jag's team were there. Oh, which I totally glossed over, by the way. They check in. Jag and Jazz are first place. Tucker and Eric are literally, like, 2 steps behind them for second. And Jag and Jazz also get money. They get $2,500 each. I'm like, oh, the rich get rich. They get money. They get an express pass. They're coasting. They went from the bottom of the pack during the human bowling to first place, which is why I said, why would you give them the express pass? They don't need it. They're fine without it. I promise you, Taylor and Kylan, please don't give it to them. Listen, I know they had the express pass. I still would U-turn them if I had a chance of it. I'm like, get them out of here. You know who will? Izzy and Paige. I'd believe. Because they're the team to beat. Because you have to pray they're going to be shit at something. They are such a strong team. My god. But yeah, the teams are starting to leave the Gerber flower place. Checking in. We're down to only a couple of teams left at the flower place. It's just Angela and Lexi, Turner and Megan, and Kat and Alex. Now, once Angela and Lexi finish, they start leaving. Who finally shows up? Enzo and Jack. After all this time of being lost, confused, wandering the Netherlands. They're like a human that we know. And they're leaving. And they're like, fuck, dude. We're so behind. But they're not. They're behind, but there's a slight glimmer of hope because they go in and there's 2 other teams there. And they're like, whoo! But now they're navigating that the sun is setting. Like, it's night, so it's extra dark in that damn greenhouse. And it's hard. Turner is struggling. Kat is struggling. Jack is running back and forth for flowers. These people... And I honestly am kind of surprised at how hard this was for Turner. Because he is an artist. He like creates furniture and art and things like that. You'd think he would have a better eye for the small details, but I do understand also they've had a very long day. They were behind most of the time. They've been playing catch up. They're in the dark with a little headlamp. So, not the best conditions. They've been having a day. They both say, both him and Megan are like, this is the hardest day of my life. By far. So, I'm not shocked that he's not doing well, but I'm like, it's like I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked. I'm like, I get you probably worn the hell and back. But damn. The artist. Oh, that sucks. But eventually, they make it through. Kat and Alex do leave before them, though. Poor Kat was like having a breakdown. She's been like having a breakdown since her bandana incident. Like she is just so like struggling. She's like, we're done. Especially because they were like in 5th, and now they're like in 11th place. Pretty much, they're like at the bottom, and she cannot figure out these flowers. She is sobbing. The flower guy is like trying to comfort her when she finishes, because she's been like so distraught the whole time, crying, just like so frustrated. She's like, I don't want to be the first one to go. And I get it. Like I said, I get very frustrated easily as well. I am a crier when I'm frustrated. I'm like that, and I'm like doing something inconsequential, like I'm like fucked up cookies at home that I was baking. I cannot imagine the pressure of not only like, are you like fucking this challenge up, you're not doing well, but you could be eliminated, you're gonna lose $1 million. Like, Kat's been on TV before. Kat, on Big Brother, it's her partner's first time on a show. It's like, am I gonna blow this like opportunity for them because I can't do a challenge right? I sent us back because I wore the bandana on. Like, it's a lot of pressure, and I understand incredibly well that it's a lot. And this poor woman is like struggling so hard. Ugh. But she figures it out. She does get the flowers, and they're able to move on. It is dark when they get to Phil. When Jag and Jazz and Tucker and Eric checked in, it's like fully daylight. There's like people walking around having picnics on the grass, lounging around. It's so busy. They get there. It's dark. Nobody is there. It's like 10 o'clock at night or something like that. It's like, it's late. It's night. And they're like, whoo. I don't even know if they knew that they were like, I mean, obviously they know that the other two were still behind, but the way they reacted, they probably thought like, maybe they raised passes, who knows. But they're 11th. And we do get our losing team. Fortunately for them, because Turner's able to get the flowers done, and they leave. Enzo and Jack are not far behind, but unfortunately, Turner and Megan do get to the mat, the check-in pit stop, before them. So, unfortunately for Enzo and Jack, they are the 13th and final team to check in, and they're out of the race. One leg, and that's it. One very lost leg. They had a rough day. They had a really, really rough. I don't even think the hazard would have set them that far back. I think they were just very much struggling with just getting around the directions. I don't know if they would have fared better if they had. Well, maybe. I don't even know, because there weren't other teams there when they got there. So I think they still would have just been as lost, like similar to Turner and Megan, just not having a sense of direction, just being very lost. So I don't know how well they would have done, but we'll never know. And this is the first time for Enzo that he has not done well on a show. Every other show he's been on, 2 seasons of Big Brother and the challenge, he has made it to the finals every single time. So he has a crazy resume. 3 times to the finals, and then the first boot. Crazy. But you could tell they're beat. They are tired. They've had a very long day. But even though, like I said earlier in the episode, that they were like struggling, like they were like, God damn it, like they're losing their maps. they're like, we're fucking lost. Like, they're just like, this sucks, da da da. They are at the end, they're like, you know what? It was rough. We had a really long day, but it was fun. We did shit we would have never done anywhere else. And we made it through. We pushed through. We just had to keep going, even if we knew we were behind. We just had to get through this and make it to the end. So you know what? Props to them. They had a good mindset at the end of the day, and I think they had a fair show. I'm not shocked by this, honestly. I didn't have the highest expectations for them, but I'm glad that, they took it in stride. They weren't like pissed at, like, damn it, we're stupid, like, what, da da. Like, they took it in stride. I wrote down their placements. I think if you know. I'll just do the top 3 and the bottom 3. Like I said, Kat and Alex, Turner and Megan, Enzo and Jack, the bottom 3, with Enzo and Jack out. And our top 3 placers, obviously, Jack and Jazz, Tucker and Eric, and, to my delight and absolute pleasure, Izzy and Paige. I believe for the next leg of the race, they're heading to the Czech Republic. I forget where. I believe they said that. But I'm hoping for the next leg that we get a little more of, like I said earlier, the racers themselves. I would like to know more about, their loved ones. I would like just to know everybody more than the surface level, like, Big Brother stuff that we know. Get to know more about them personally, because it helps you root for them. I mean, I have people I'm rooting for because I know them from Big Brother, but if you don't watch Big Brother, you're gonna be like, who are these people? I think that was a lot of people's, like, issue with this episode, because I did see people that had kind of like a weird, this is a weird episode, the way it was, like, edited, some people said, the way, like, they didn't start off with the storyline, they were already doing a challenge right out of the gate, and it's like, oh, it's like a different vibe. People said it was like we're like at episode 2, not episode, like, the starting episode. It was like kind of like a weird vibe, which I kind of agree. It had like a weird, something, like, when something's off, you're like, something's off about this, and I can't quite place my finger on it, but something's a little weird. Not that it was a bad episode. I think it was a fun episode still. But yeah, we have 90-minute episodes now, so I think they can definitely flesh out people a little more. I would love to know more about everybody. I think it'd be really, really fun. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun season. It's our European travel, so they're no planes, we're going to Japan and then to Portugal, then we're going to this place, then we're coming here. It's all Europe. So they said more trains, more self-driving. Godspeed. Now, am I a little bummed? Because I love to see the airport, like, fuck, we can't get a flight, da-da-da. But there's already going to be some drama with the train in the next episode, so that's going to be fun. Look at me, rooting for crash outs. I'm really sorry. I live for the drama. Oops. Yeah, I think this is a fun episode. I wonder how in future legs of the race, if it's going to be similar to what it was this premiere, with a couple teams out in the front, a lot of them really clumped together, and teams at the very far end of it, or I don't know, because we have really, I don't know, these teams are so, I don't know, I think it could be spread out more, and again, you never know what the challenges are going to be. But what we saw in the preview for the next episode, they're like they're like up in the air off the side of a building. Crazy. So you never know. Whatever. What a fun premiere. I had a blast. I don't know. Amazing Race is just a fun time. I love it. It's always a blast every time I watch it. And I like getting to see the countries. I think it's always so fun. I'm not a traveler, unfortunately. I would love to, travel the world. But I don't got money like that. I'm barely making minimum wage, y'all. It's rough out here in these streets. So I'll enjoy it through my TV. I'll pretend I'm there in the Czech Republic with them. I'll be in the villains with them. But yeah, and something I also forgot to mention, I wanted to mention earlier, with Enzo and Jack's hazard that they got. You know, they had just to eat the herring, and that was like I was expecting like more of a hazard, and I think honestly, depending on like the team that had gotten it, it could have been more of like a problem, being like, ew, I eat this nasty fish, da da da. But they were just like, fuck it, we're eating the fish and we're moving. They're like, eat that damn fish and we're going. So they took that shit in stride. They ate that fish and they're like, wasn't bad. All right, let's get moving. Which is great because I always feel like really bad on shows when there's like a food thing and then people are like this, and they, you know, you see it on every show where it's like some countries like a cuisine, like a normal food for them or like a special like food, and people are like, this is disgusting, what is this nasty thing, ew, and I'm like, don't be fucking rude, look how we eat, bitch. But you ever been to a county fair? I saw deep fried butter last time I was at one. We're not eating high quality cuisine here either, okay? So relax. Like, something won't kill you. And you never know until you try it. Like Enzo and Jack ate it and they're like, it was actually pretty good. Kind of slimy, but good. So I'm glad that they weren't jerks. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just something I wanted to add. That they were, I don't know. Like I said, not jerks. I don't know. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the premiere. I'm really excited for the rest of the season. I think it's going to be really fun. Love The Amazing Race. But yeah, we got another episode coming later tonight. Really jazzed about that. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is a little later out than I would have planned originally. But don't worry. Our coverage for episode 2 and any future episodes of The Amazing Race will be out every Sunday coming up in the future. Schedules! As well as the other shows we're covering, Survivor 49. Also, you know, it's our double night feature for Wednesdays. Survivor 49, The Amazing Race 38. Survivor coverage will be on Fridays. Every Friday coming up. And starting in October 16th, will be the first video for Guts and Glory, the horror reality competition show from AMC. It comes out on the 14th. It's a short season, only like 6 episodes, but we're going to do it on Thursdays just for Halloween. I think it'll be really fun. Something a little spooky for the season. And who knows? Maybe we'll throw one little thing here or there in between. Now that we're in the Big Brother postseason, a lot more free time. I'm not glued to the feeds, usually, especially like this season, because usually the end game is like slow. Like, we know what's happening. You don't need to be you don't need to be looking at the feeds every 5 minutes, like what's going on. This end game was crazy. So a lot of my time was taken up by that. But now we're free to breathe. We got a schedule. Again, Sundays, Amazing Race. Fridays are Survivor 49. And starting on October 16th, we'll have Guts and Glory on Thursdays while it airs. Only 6 episodes again. So not going to be, you know, like how Amazing Race and Survivor will be and take us on through to December. It'll just be for a couple weeks. I do have to double check. I believe initially it was scheduled to be released in September, but it was moved to October, and initially the plan was to have the premiere episode and episode 2 out at the same time. I'm not sure if they're still doing it, so we'll either have 5 to 6 weeks, depending if it's both at the same time or still they're going to do it individually. But yeah, that is all I got for you now. I am excited to see the new episode later on. I think we're going to have a really fun season, and I expect these people, the Razors, excuse me, I'm so rude, that they are going to be, these people are competitive, and with the connections they have, I know, even though they're friends, these people are not going to be afraid to be cutthroat when they need to, and build alliances when they need to. So I think we're all for a really fun season. All right, so that's all I got for today. You know, subscribe if you like, leave a like if you want, leave a comment as well. Tell me your thoughts on the season so far. The premiere. There's not much to say about the season 1 episode. Hello. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the premiere. Would you have given Jack and Jazz the Express Pass? or would you have picked another team? Let me know. Share your thoughts below. All right, that's all I got for you today. We had a great time indoors. Now we're off. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.